yeah, we're excited to kind of get things off the ground. It seems like we're ready to rock and roll.
Yep.
And Dominic and Mike and I think Ray also informed me that you guys were getting ready to do a pretty good marketing push.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're going to do, but we can't. There's not going to be time to do it before Vegas because of some other things that we're dealing with. So we want to just get this all done, all right, all tested, and then big marketing push.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Love that.
Jewelers of America has backed the platform, and Jewelry Stock Balancing is now a member benefit of JA members, and they get a discount to join. So yeah, so we've got a few different channels for marketing.
What do you expect the outreach is going to be like? Do you guys have a goal for the end of the year? Or?
Well, lofty goals would be at least 500 to 1,000 new members.
Wow.
I think that's pretty lofty, but I think it's pretty reasonable. But when you look at the amount of users you guys have, the amount of people that JA reaches out to, and the benefits associated with doing all this, I think I've already had people before we could even do this integration sign up.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I think once we do this and the recognition of the two companies kind of working together, I think will be a good thing for the industry.
I think so too. Do
you think that's an unreasonable number?
No. I mean, anything could happen. We've done major marketing pushes and watched it dribble out when we thought it was going to be wildfire, and then we saw things that we didn't think were going to have legs at all. And 1,000 users later, it's amazing what gets people's attention. So we're all for it, and I think that the main reason for this meeting was kind of set up the boundaries, the process. What we want to do is we want to build a process around success so that we're prepared. We're not caught, limping around if this thing starts taking off and there's calls all over the place. Correct. So that's why I said in the email, what we want to do is we want to look at administrative process so that we just have all of our things in line, because Gail and Lauren and our administrative team, they're oftentimes the last to know when we're putting some new initiative together. So we want to make sure we got our calls and our handoffs correct so we can move as efficiently as possible. We want to give you guys the appropriate training so that you guys don't have to be waiting for us. And kind of, just really talk about how we do things with partner integrations. A couple of years ago, Juliana and I really retooled what partner integrations look like, and we analyzed some of the holes that we had in that process in years past, and a lot of that had to do with like wait times and, shoddy support and all those things related to the fact that, we were torn in a million different directions. So we've developed processes in place where what makes the most sense to us is for us to support our partners so that we can kind of get out of your way and let you do what it is you need to do. Because it's like, for example, the first 5 years that we were with one of our website partners, we were doing all the implementations and stuff like that, and it didn't make any sense because what was happening was implementations were getting done in a vacuum when important discussions about process and use of the feature were really needing to be had by them, the partners. So so we kind of want to get ourselves out of the way with that. We expect that if somebody's coming on board with JSB, the real success is going to come out of them actually knowing how to drive the data from the edge into JSB, which we could back up with videos and documentation. But I think you guys are the ones who's pitching it. From the elevator pitch to your documentation to whatever webinars or whatever you're going to do. You guys are going to need to have that hands-on experience so that you can actually guide people to success. So that's what we're looking to support. So really it kind of boils down to talking and touching on administrative process. We want to show you what the setup looks like so that if we launch a client and they want to get rolling next Monday, you could say, sure, we're going to jump on an online connection. We already verified you guys are running the right version of the Edge. Got all ducks in a row, so let me log on and set it up for you, and you're good to go. Okay. That makes sense? Yes. Yep. And then... Just to chime in, I did send an email May 18th of 2018 with the process outline, so I'll forward that back over to you, Alan, so you have it. Okay, perfect. Basically goes over when a customer signs with JSB and the admin process and implementation. So I'll send that back over to you today. Okay, perfect. Good. Yeah, because right, we've already been down this road, right? No, this is awesome. And then, you know, I think probably the biggest learning curve in the whole process for all of us to digest is going to be like, how do we educate the clients on that end to actually utilize the service? You know, getting it up and running is one thing, but there's really two methods of conduit to get inventory, aged inventory to JSB, and one of them is going to be manual. May select a bunch of items and send them up, or select one item and send it up. And then there's going to be what we refer to as our AIMS, or Aged Inventory Management System, where on a more automated basis, we identify items that have reached a certain age threshold, and we could, you know, put them up in batches.
Right.
You know, so, and that's something I think that will be more helpful long-term for us to develop like videos on or something like that, so people can understand the parameters. So I'll stop talking. And Mike Weimer has got his computer, so he's going to drive and show you the document on setup, and then we'll take it from there.
Okay, great.
All right. Yeah.
And let us know if you could hear everything. We got you on the conference line.
Okay. No, right now is no problem. But I think Patrick joined. I don't know if he's got if he's dialed in or not.
Yeah, I'm actually on the computer, so I can see everything.
Okay.
Cool.
Thanks, Patrick.
Thanks, guys.
Patrick. Yeah, Patrick and I walked through this with him a couple of weeks ago as well. So basically, I made this quick document just to do the setup. Setup is pretty simple. Initially, it's all license control through the edge. So, you know, once you guys let us know that a customer is signed up for JSB, we add them to the license. They install the license on their edge, and then you need to go in and set up the EDT. For your guys' situation, there's only one tab you really need to, or two tabs you need to focus on. I don't suggest putting a icon on the desktop because the customer really doesn't need to go into EDT for JSB purposes, because it all runs in the background. For customers that are using TPW or other things, they might need it. So basically, I suggest you go into the run command. You hit OK to run the link I posted on there for Edge Data Transfer Client with a -I for interactive, and it brings up this screen for Edge Data Transfer Settings. As you can see, on mine I have 5 tabs. You guys won't see all these tabs. I have a license that has all of this stuff included. The two tabs, one tab, this tab, all the customer is going to really need to do is have an email address in here. This way, if a failure goes through with JSB, they'll get an email saying your item didn't make it up. I haven't seen it yet for JSB stuff because that again runs in the background, but we do require it, so it will be it is needed. So I'll throw my email in there for now. So the configuration tab is the second tab. So basically, it all sets up automatically, so you really won't need to do anything here because we have a content directory and a download directory. We're primarily only using the content directory because we're only sending stuff up. We're not receiving anything back from you. So however you guys are planning to let the customer know if an item was sold, I believe it was through email. We're just sending stuff out of the edge up to your site. But you do need to install the service, which is right here. Just click Install Service. It runs. Press any key to continue, and it's done. In the background, what it's doing is it's creating a service called Edge Data Transfer, and it's going to run right there in the background, and that's basically what's going to, so every time you upload an item or initiate an item through the Edge, it's just going to see it, grabs it, and throws it up. There's nothing the customer has to do beyond that. So your guys' situation would be the jewelry stock balancing tab. You're going to have to put the server address in, and as far as I know, it's going to be the same across the board. So on the document, I do have it listed here. So for now, what I have it here, the FTP, from Patrick.
But what I'm we're going to have to be doing this, or this is going to all be automated and already in there?
No, this needs to be set up.
Every time someone joins?
Correct.
Okay. And they do this, or we do this for them?
You would do that.
We would do it.
Correct.
Correct.
Okay, but isn't this through the edge that they're doing this? How am I going to have access?
It's on what you do is click on the Run program. That's why I made this document. It steps you through what you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
So you go to Run, and you could actually just copy paste this into the Run. I'll show you again one more time.
No, I understand what you did, but what I'm trying to understand is if they're doing this and they're using their Edge software that's in their store, how am I going to have access to set all this up?
Typically, our partners will have like GoToAssist or some other remote access to their computer. So they would log in with the customer on their end, and that's when you can initiate that setup.
Okay.
You'd actually have control of their computer, and as if it was just right in your hands.
Okay.
And we can provide you with a license to do that. For all of our partners, we actually provide a GoToAssist seat, and we can show you how to use it. And inside of about 15 seconds, you would have a remote connection to their system.
Okay.
And it's something that we love doing because not only is it a great tool to have, but it's consistent with their experience for remote operation.
Okay. And Patrick, if you're hearing anything that doesn't jive, you got to chime in, okay?
Main thing, I guess, that you were talking about the license to get in and stuff like that. Is there a single sign-on that we would have for that, or do all these clients have different logins?
You mean to log in remotely?
Yeah.
No, to log in remotely, what you have is the GoToAssist application is like a listener app. So you launch it on your computer, and then you can receive connections. So you could just have them, and they would go to a site that says like help.edgeuser.com. They plug in their store name and hit connect to you. You know.
Okay.
We could show you that. It's incredibly simple and powerful.
Yeah, when I set up your computer, remember I gave you the help.edgeuser and I logged on. It'd be the same thing, but you'd be on the sending end, not the receiving.
Gotcha. Okay, sounds good.
Patrick, as long as you understand all this, that's all I need to know.
Yeah, technically this is not that hard. As long as we have the access, because this would confuse the living crap out of most jewelers. So as long as we can do it, it won't be any problem.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
That's why it's safer too that someone go in and set it up.
Yep. Sounds good.
So I just want to roll back because I did miss one thing on the configuration tab. I do recommend you setting up the Use Edge ID as a root folder. That way, it's going to create a folder for every customer with an inbox outbox. Otherwise, it's just going to create. If that's not checked, it's going to just create inbox and outbox on the FTP site.
So basically, we wouldn't be able to distinguish what the pieces of jewelry as far as which one they would be. I mean, yeah, that's perfectly fine. Whatever you think on that.
Yeah, from what we've discussed, that was because this way it creates a folder based on their Edge license on your FTP site, like you have set up now. You know, where we have the JSB and the Edge Tech license all going up.
We'll send you a screenshot of what the standard, the default.
Yeah, I have one on.
You have one. Good, yeah.
So as you can see here, based on this, and this is obviously your FTP site, it creates a different folder for each customer, and then within that folder is the inbox, and that's where the item is in the CSV file that you're going to be using. And again, so basically to finish the setup side, is basically, you know, from what Patrick gave us, user log on JSB, password JSB 1 2 3. You plug those in, and hit test. Oh. Didn't ask for this now, so let me just fix it.
You canceled out of it.
Did I?
Yeah.
And Patrick, we're going to be getting a video of what we're seeing here, so we can go back through this if needed.
Okay, cool.
Oh, there's a space. That's why. Now it's success. So yeah, you test it. I add a space in there when I do the copy paste. You just click test FTP settings. Once you get the make directory, upload file, delete directory, it's success. Good to go. You hit OK. Here you just hit save and stay. And you don't want to hit upload, down, and close. You just want to hit cancel because it's all done. That's basically the setup for JSB. Once you get those 4 successes and it's done, that's it. Then the customer goes ahead in the edge and uploads to JSB based on whichever process they want to use. So in the document, I'll send you this document to both you guys. Okay. I can just show you briefly in the edge. We have 2 spots where they can upload to JSB. Basically, under inventory, we created a button for just upload JSB items. Click it.
Are your users seeing that tab right now?
No. Okay. They'll only see it once they get licensed with JSB.
Got it. Okay.
So you put in, your parameters, and then it'll pull up a list of items that you can upload to JSB, and you would just simply select 1 or 2, or how many, hit OK. I'm not going to do it because I'm.
And you can't. And there's no default to select all once you've reached the parameters.
Yes, it depends what you want to do. So if you do upload JSB items and you hit OK, you can set them up. The customer can set them up at a category level. So for example,
because this is the kind of stuff we're going to have to teach them.
Right. So basically, and I include that in the document I made. So you have that for.
Yeah,
okay.
This is where the best practice stuff is going to come from. Is like, if someone's serious about doing this, they're going to want to go to the category level and set the parameters so it's all automated.
So each category you can set up. I believe it's under pricing.
Yep. Pricing.
So there's jewelry stock balancing, number of days in stock before JSB. So -1 will never upload. 0 will not upload unless overridden. But here you can put in the number of days you want before the edge will start looking at those items. So they could go in, say they do 365 for category 100, they could do 760. They can do whatever they want per category. If certain categories they want to move faster, others they want to keep in store longer. They can do it all at the category level. Also, at the item level, you can set the item up to never upload to JSB. So if you don't ever want an item to go up, you can go into the item itself.
Right. Yeah, because if someone's got Rolex, they're never going to put it up.
Right. But they can do set that at the whole category level, or if they want to do they have a category just for high-end watches. They can go into each item. Here, there's a checkbox for to never upload. And then finally, they can also, so if you want to go in, if they want to go in and see what they have.
Let me ask you a quick question, Mike. If they have Rolex, can they just go to one button to say no Rolex, basically is what I'm getting at? Or do they have to go
if it's all under one category, then yes, you can set it to never upload that whole category.
Okay.
In most cases,
okay.
They might have 2 categories, ladies and gents or something like that.
Right.
So you can, like I said, they can do it at a category level, or if they want to do it at an individual item level. So if they want some to go up and others not to, they can control it either way. And then finally, there is a way under item details. They can search for currently uploaded items that they never want to upload, and not uploaded items. So they have the ability to go in there to search for items that they've uploaded to you, so that they want to see a list of everything that's been sent up to JSB. They can go into this tab, put it in, and then it'll bring up all the items that have been uploaded to JSB.
Okay.
So, and again, I've included that all, and I'll shoot you guys an email with this document that I created.
Okay.
This goes over what the search features and whatnot.
And I still believe that we should have a separate meeting where we kind of get our sea legs and we talk about making a short video. I think a 2-3 minute video is going to go a long way.
Yep. We sent 2 links last year to the explainer videos that we use now for other partners.
Correct. Right.
I will send them again.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, they cost a couple $100 to make, and I think that they're well worth it. We could do something where it just says getting the most out of it. Go set your categories.
Right.
Go do, that kind of stuff, because we really want to be able to provide best practice. So, Mike, you said there's 2 ways to upload. So you showed us one way.
Right. Well, the other way is using the, as you explained, the buying tools.
Yeah.
So under buying tools, if they start using the, the management system, under monthly age inventory, there is uploaded jewelry stock balancing. So in here they could do it for settings. They can set it up, and then it's a click of a button, and it'll pull up their items.
We don't know how many people will utilize this, because we're always trying to get them to drink the Kool-Aid into this kind of automated inventory balancing process. We really don't have eyes as to how many stores are doing it, but we hold seminars all the time trying to get people to buy better and trust in the process. If we continue to get that message across, this might be something where it does create a little bit more of an automated process of uploading to you guys.
Right. Yeah, I mean, they should really set it that anytime something ages over a year, they put it up. It gives them another avenue to move it.
Exactly. That's
right.
That's going to be our goal, and setting some parameters. Now, another thing that we could also explore with you guys is if you guys want to take a look at a half a dozen different category setups or something like that, and throw some recommendations to us out there. Maybe we could kind of, when people are setting up, they're always like in this sea of where do I start? Maybe we can create some suggestions for them as to what numbers they should put in for different types of merchandise. I know you'd like to say everything should be a year and gone, and Dick would like to say that too, but that that we never have that as a real case, because most of these stores, it would be 97% of their merchandise would be on JSB.
Right, and you got to remember, I'm a pearl and jewelry wholesaler, so I don't like when people want to stock balancing. I want them to be pushing it this direction.
Yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't work, and most retailers, they come to you after it's been there like a couple of years. They're sick of looking at it. They don't all do it in a year. Right.
Yeah. No. So we have to try to find a way to massage those best practices, create some recommendations, tell them the story. This is what everybody else is doing, and then roll with it. Hey, Mike, on the category list, do we have the JSB column if they're enabled? They go into inventory categories. I don't know if this would be something we could do. If not, we might be able to export the raw table. Nothing on the list view, right?
No, unless you know.
Can you export raw here? I'm just thinking of tools for Patrick and for Alan. We might be able to just throw a functional spreadsheet so that if you're talking with a customer, instead of having to drill into one category at a time, we might be able to get a list in front of you showing how they're set up so that they know this one's 365, another one's 520, just something a little bit faster. We might be able to throw a JSP column on the list view or in a spreadsheet or something like that.
When we were talking before, as far as the categories are customer created, aren't they?
Yep. I mean, they get a starting set from us, but they deviate from it. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because I'm trying to think of, trying to think at the beginning of, figuring out if we could tie into specific categories, but knowing that they, might be misspelled, changed, whatever they may be. I know that was a little bit of a complication at the original conversation that we had about it, but at some point, we're throwing everything to a secondary category because we don't know, but I'd like to put some, even if it's a, fuzzy matching within it in order to actually put, an earring, into the earrings category to make it a little bit easier as it go on, but that's something we can address later.
Yeah, I mean, and again, that's kind of the building process. If this thing starts to take off and become really successful, we want to be as prepared as possible so we don't have a ton of, manual work to do. But right now it's kind of grassroots, so we'll work with what we have. But, if there's a way that we could get some standards that we could roll in there, that makes some sense.
Yep. Yeah, when you say about manual work, it sounds like right now it's going to be a lot of manual work for us to get everyone up. No?
It should be short work, though. It should be, and again, this is from our experience, this is the biggest piece of it, is you guys are going to be talking to people about how this works, and in order to do the best practices, you really need to be having the conversation while the setup is occurring. And that's one of the things that we kind of learned from the website integration process as well. Eventually, Ross at Punchmark, for example, what would happen was we would do these like implementations in a vacuum. We would just set people up, but then we didn't have any eyes on what they were going to do as far as numbers and stuff. Then Ross would have to regroup with them and have another conversation and then kind of set it all straight. So it's just kind of like talking with you guys, you talking with the client, getting them to drink the Kool-Aid, and as opposed to a technician on our part just basically setting something to just go on a schedule. It's not going to give you any value, so you guys might end up developing some sort of questionnaire where you just say, okay, here's your category list. Here's the recommendations that we have. We think you should set all earrings to 365 and set engagement to X and set, and then it's like they send it back to you, and then you can say, okay, we're going to go do it. I think that's going to be. Yeah, I think that those are processes that we would love to help you guys work out, because we're never going to put that kind of attention on it, So that's what I'm hoping to do. I was looking at something else. I had a question for you guys. So if someone has items that are in the queue or they've been uploaded to JSB, now what happens if the store then sells the item?
It should be, if it's through you guys, it should be removed.
Okay. We don't have a real removal process. There's nothing to remove. I mean, we could send the same item back up with a sold status.
I think that's what we talked about doing. In fact, that's something we tested a while ago.
That's what we do now. Okay, so so what'll happen is 15 days ago you got an item up that was said upload, and now you're going to get that same item again with the status of sold. So as long as you guys know how to identify that, then you guys have the ability to remove it.
Yep, that's exactly what happens.
Okay. All right. So are you cool with those mechanics?
Patrick?
I'm sorry, what was that question?
Are you good with those mechanics, you said?
Do you know what to do with that?
Yeah, everything's already set up. It's a field within the CSV that comes over, and when it hits it, it takes it off of our site immediately, so Perfect. It's not a problem.
Perfect.
And what happens in the event that we sell something? How are you then notified? How's the Edge software notified?
Good question.
That was my understanding was you guys were going to email the customer, and they were going to do something, sell it within the Edge. That was personally I'm not sure.
Yeah,
go ahead, Patrick.
No, that was what was discussed. So they would manually take it out of the Edge when an item was sold on JSB. They're
going to manually take it out?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a two-way at this point. Everything is just, like I said, we're importing things in, but not exporting things to the Edge.
Oh, I misunderstood.
So if it sells on JSB, we're going to email the retailer. Now what we need to do is we all need to get on the same page and tell them what to do with that, because there are choices on an item record. Is they can sell it, they can scrap it, they can mark it missing, return to vendor, or delete it. So do we recommend that they create a JSB customer and then they just sell it? Sounds like the most prudent thing to do.
That's right.
It's still got to go to somebody if we sell it.
Right. It's sold to JSB. Because JSB is going to be paying them.
Right. Sold to JSB. Will they know at that point what the price is, what they're getting for it?
Yes.
Okay. So the email needs to include item number XYZ123 is sold, and here's $60.
Patrick?
Yeah, I mean that's the emails and everything. Documents everything as far as what they get and what they receive, as well as.
Right.
I mean, they're going to be able to see that information also on the back end of JSB as well.
All right, so you're probably going to want to create some sort of email template that just repeats the instructions over and over again. It just says, now go to the edge, sell it to your JSB customer file. Because we could recommend that they just create a JSB customer, set it as a flagged account, like a non-retail account, so it's not something that's on your marketing. Otherwise, you're going to be getting all kinds of fan mail from every store on the in creation. And then, yep, okay, that makes sense.
Everybody good with that, Patrick?
Sounds good to me. I mean, that's what's happening now, so better be good with it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. It doesn't matter to me as long as we're all on the same page, so that we can all provide the same knowledge to a customer who might ask.
Yeah. Okay.
So
keep
it simple.
Yeah, they have it. Like I said, when the vendor on the JSB side has access to everything that was sold, when it was sold, capability of reprinting documentation, that has the list of things they've sold, shipping labels, everything. So I mean, we have everything that's available to them. So it's not just an email. The email is just a notification that something has moved.
Nice. So it's a twofold situation. We have an answer for if it sells on JSB. We have an answer if it sells on the edge, which that process will be more automated because we're just setting the same item up with a new status.
Okay.
So, and there's any number of statuses that it might hit. It might hit sold, it might hit layaway, it might hit memo out, which is probably not likely. And really anything other than in stock.
Right. So, but anything that's not in stock, it will automatically remove off of our site. If it's on layaway, it's got to be removed.
Yep, it's on layaway. It's got to be removed. I guess probably the biggest concern that I would have is that someone does something else with it. Like someone's going to take physical inventory and they're scanning their store, and it's up on JSB. They'd be they would have no idea of that because they're just scanning inventory. And then what happens is at the conclusion of the inventory, they can't find an item, and then they just mark it missing. So an item gets marked missing, that's as good as take it off of JSB, I think. So anything that's not in stock, really.
Right.
Otherwise,
as long as your status is, shows on our site correctly, that's okay.
Yeah, that's the only thing we'll need to check, because I think right now within that column we're either getting true or false as far as if it's in stock or out of stock.
Okay. Well, then what we'll have to do is we'll have to check the code on our side to see what's included in that true or false.
Yeah.
If we're making it true or false, we need to make sure that it's not just managing sales and layaways. It's got to really be any kind of status that represents no longer in stock. We'll make a note of that on our side.
Actually, I apologize. So you guys are actually sending the text in stock to us, and I think that might be something that we had hard coded in. So, you'll have to definitely, take a look at your statuses, because I wasn't aware of the layaway and stuff like that. Because that was one thing that's definitely cool information to know. So, as long as you guys are sending the in stock and out of stock, regardless of what you have on our side, we'll handle the taking it off. But yeah, definitely take a look and see what you have for that, and let me know.
Okay. Yeah, we'll make a dev note on that. You guys got that to take away, right? Cool. All right. Cool. So you guys have one integrated site up and running now, right? Is that the way we're testing?
I'm sorry. What was that? Yeah.
I was just a curiosity question because I haven't been working with it, but I thought you guys had one site that's up and running, right? Oh, cool. Nice. Good. All right. So should we schedule another meeting and start talking about, I know you guys are going to start marketing. Do you guys have anybody in the hopper that we're getting close to integrating with that we should because maybe what we could do is, seeing as you're kind of nervous with some of the early work, why don't we do a couple of them together?
Right. We should do that. I say we should, Patrick, you tell me on timing with, based on our discussion of yesterday, do you think we should do this in the next couple of weeks? being that, I'm after Thursday, I'm not back here till the following Wednesday because of the show, because we do luxury. So.
Yeah. Let's definitely make sure that you are back in Illinois when we actually decide to do that stuff, because obviously, I mean, you're going to be talking it up there, but I mean that might actually give us more.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't do anything till after JCK anyway. So
right, exactly.
Yeah.
So should we just how about we just circle back like the Wednesday or Thursday after the show and then set something up for the week following? Does that work for everybody?
Yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Okay. And I'll definitely. You guys are downstairs at JCK.
Yeah. We are.
Yeah. I think I saw your booth number is 60062.
That's correct.
Yep.
Yeah, easy for me to remember. That's my home zip code.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll be at the show on Saturday and Sunday only. I'd love to meet you.
Okay, I'll probably be able to get down there on Sunday.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Great.
And I'm sure there's definitely some people, like we originally had Davis doing some testing and all this, but I know Ashley's off on Fridays and then she's leaving, for the show as well. So I think she would kind of need to be around, but that's definitely somebody when we get back we could do this whole setup and get them going, because they were also having some issues.
That's the one with the servers on lockdown, though, right?
Yeah. Right. So I mean, I think that's a really good one to be testing. Plus the fact she owes it to me because I gave her a free subscription to help me do all this stuff. So I think that's somebody that we'll have to lean on.
Okay.
And that's also someone we were having issues with. So then that way we can really see what's what.
That's kind of what I was telling out. I mean, now that we actually have access to be able to get in with the GoToAssist and stuff like that and do all this stuff for them, and I think it'll make it a lot easier of a process rather than us waiting for them saying, hey, can you do it now? Can you do it now? Can you do it now? So, yeah.
Right.
We can bust it out easy.
I'll go and make you guys the GoToAssist account, and we'll get that out to you.
Fantastic.
Sounds good.
All right. So I'm going to... Who should reach out to who on Wednesday or Thursday after the show? You want me to reach out to everybody?
We want to just put something on the calendar right now, because it's easier to change a schedule than it is to find time for one.
Let's see. I mean, I can tell you that the week I get back is always crazy here. So I mean, anytime you want to just do it Wednesday the 12th. Does that work for everybody?
Sounds good. Same time?
Yeah, that's
good. Patrick, work for you?
Yeah, I'm checking right now. I think that should be fine. Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Cool. All right.
Okay, we're setting it, and you guys will set up the meeting and send out the email, correct?
Yeah, I'll do that today.
Perfect. Okay.
Sounds good. All right.
Thank you guys. Appreciate everyone's help. Look forward to meeting you all in Vegas. All right, great.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Absolutely.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.